Deep in the heart of the Bohemian mountains, where the snow lay thick as wool blankets, lived a widow with 2 daughters. One was her own, Helena, who was ugly and cruel. The other was her stepdaughter, Marushka, who was beautiful and kind. Because the mother loved only Helena, Marushka was forced to do all the work, scrubbing floors, cooking meals, and hauling wood, while Helena idled by the stove, growing fatter and meaner by the day. One bitter day in mid-January, Helena decided she wanted the scent of spring. "Marushka," she barked,
"Go to the forest and find me some violets. And don't come back until you have them."
"But sister, violets don't grow in the deep snow. It is the dead of winter." Helena only scowled. "Do not argue. If you come back without them, I will lock you out forever." The stepmother pushed Marushka out the door and bolted it shut.
"Go on, get out! And don't come back without those spring flowers."
Marushka wandered into the blizzard, tears freezing on her cheeks. She walked until she saw a strange light atop the highest peak. Climbing toward it, she found a clearing where a great fire burned. Around the fire sat 12 men on 12 stone seats. 3 were old and gray, 3 were middle-aged, 3 were young, and 3 were the youngest of all. At the head sat Great January, holding a heavy club. They sat in silence, staring at the flames. "Kind sirs," said Marushka, shivering, "may I warm my hands by your fire?"
"Kind sirs, may I warm my hands?"
Great January nodded. "You may. But what brings you here, child?" "My sister sent me for violets," she wept. "If I return without them, I shall freeze." Great January stood and turned to a young man in the circle. "Brother March, take the high seat."
"Winter gives way to spring. Take the staff, March."
"I feel the life returning to the world."
March took the club and waved it over the fire. The flames rose high, the snow melted into rivulets, and the grass turned green. Within moments, purple buds burst through the earth. Marushka quickly gathered a bouquet, thanked the men profusely, and ran home. Helena snatched the flowers without a word of thanks. The next day, her greed grew. "Go get me strawberries," she commanded. Again, Marushka was forced into the cold. She returned to the fire, weeping. This time, January handed the club to Brother June. The fire roared, the air turned golden, and the bushes became heavy with sweet red berries. Marushka filled her apron and hurried back. On the third day, Helena demanded fresh red apples.
Red apples.
Marushka returned to the mountaintop. This time, January handed the club to Brother September. The air turned crisp and cool, and red leaves swirled. An apple tree appeared, heavy with fruit. "Shake the tree, Marushka," September commanded. She shook it, and one apple fell. She shook it again, and another fell.
Hurry home!
"Hurry home now," shouted the months. When she returned with only 2 apples, Helena was furious.
Where are other apples?
"You greedy wretch! You ate the rest on the way." "I did not," Marushka cried. "They only allowed me to shake the tree twice." "Liar," Helena shouted. "I shall go myself. I will find these men and take all the apples I want and strawberries too."
I will take them all!
Helena wrapped herself in furs and stomped up the mountain. Her mother followed shortly after. Helena found the fire and the 12 months sitting in silence. She did not ask permission. She strode to the fire and warmed her hands.
Why are you here?
"Why are you here?" Great January asked sternly.
None of your business, old fool!
"That is none of your business, old fool," Helena snapped. Great January frowned. He did not pass the club. Instead, he raised it high above his head. The fire died instantly. The sky turned black, the wind howled like a wolf, and the snow fell so thick it blinded the eyes. Helena and her mother tried to find their way home, but the storm swallowed them. They wandered in circles until the cold took them. They were never seen again. Marushka lived on in the cottage. The seasons were always kind to her. Her garden was the first to bloom in spring and the last to harvest in autumn. She lived in peace, proving that while nature may be harsh, it is always just.